So now I'm going to get on to all the inputs and outputs on the back. Sorry if there was a little jump there, my camera just stopped recording for some reason. So first of all you have your power here, which is obviously your power input. You have some like little warnings there in the Behringer logo, and it says in big writing across it, Behringer XENYX X2442USB. You then have your power on switch, your phantom power on switch, and so you have to properly reach around the back and press them if you want to turn the desk on. So you're not like some desks just have a really annoying button on the front which you can quite easily accidentally knock when you're doing stuff, which would be one of the worst things to happen, to just have your desk turn off on you and you just be left wondering why it's done that, not realizing that you turned it off. So there's a little symbol here to say don't throw it in the bin, because you can sell it for money. It's RoHS compliant. I think that's what that sticker is, if I'm right. That's one of the sort of trading standards type things, but I'm not sure about that. Then here is where the USB input and output to go to a laptop or computer is, and this is really helpful for recording because you can just record straight from the desk without needing any other interface, and you can also put sounds straight back into the desk and punch it straight into your main mix, which I find sort of, that's how I record all my stuff, so obviously I find it helpful on that front. But the one thing that I do find is a problem with it is that it's just mapped straight across the main mix fader. There's no way of changing what feeds this, so that can be a bit of a problem if you want to record from anywhere else, but it just effectively means that all you have to do is make sure you're recording, well, everything you want to record is coming out the main mix. And it's the same thing with putting sound back in. That's instantly mapped to go straight back into the main, well, not instantly, there's this button that I told you about here earlier, so you can either have it not going anywhere or going into the main mix. So then we move on to the main outputs. You have your left and right XLR, and then you also actually have the main out also on jacks, which is quite helpful, and I've tested this. You can run them both at the same time. So if you're near to your amps and you've got, say, 2 amps and you don't want to use a crossover or anything, you can come straight out of both of these into 2 separate amps, and they both have the exact same level coming out of them. You then have across the top here your 4 Aux Sends, which 3 on it does specifically say FX next to it there. I don't know if you can see that, but you have your 4 Aux Sends, which then link to your 6 your 8 even your Aux Returns, which I'll get onto in a minute. So after your main outputs, you have your main ins, which I haven't tried anything with these, but what I assume from, well, where it says main ins, I assume this is just inputs that go straight into your main mix. So I'm not quite sure about that. Again, if anyone wants to help me out with that, then it'd be greatly appreciated. You then have your control room outputs, which they come off of the exact same feed as your headphones, but it's really nice that you can have 2 sets of headphones plus your control room outputs, because if you go onto the Behringer, their bigger size desk, which would be I think they're called SX, say the SX2442, which actually has more channels than this, which is funny. But what that has is it just has 1 output for headphones or control room. It just has 1 stereo output, whereas this has 2 headphone outs and left-right control room outputs, so that's really nice. You then have this little FX section which has FX out, which all I'm assuming with that is it's a separate feed out from your Aux 3. I'm not quite sure what that's for, I don't really know, but I don't know, maybe you could use that as more monitors or something like that if you rigged it up really smartly. Then you have a foot switch here, which so you can run that to, say, if you have, if you're like a singer and you want to turn on your effects unit or whatever. Basically what I think it does is it's just a kill switch and full on, basically an on-off switch for your effects unit. So you set all the levels before, and you can just tell it when you want it to come on and off. If you come up here, you have your direct outputs for the first 8 channels. So that's actually something that's really nice. You could use this as a monitor desk on stage if you're doing small stuff. So I'm doing something in a few months' time, which what I'm planning to do is well, basically the main PA we're using is someone else's, but what I think we're gonna think about doing at least is using my desk on stage, and obviously we'll be running about 16 channels in total on his desk, but if we can get the main 8 channels going through here, then we can actually have a monitor desk on stage, which I'll be running. So that'll be really nice if we do bother doing that. And then below that here you have your subgroup outputs, which you actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And when I first saw this sort of confused me because obviously there's only 4 subgroups, but that's because each subgroup is stereo. So you actually have, if you look up on the where the subgroups are, I don't know if you can see that because I can't really see the camera, but it says 1, 5, 2, 6, 3, 7, and 4, 8, probably. Over there somewhere. So that's really nice. You actually have stereo outputs for each of them. So yeah, again, it's just a hell of a lot of routing options that you can go into with this. Yeah, you then have your Aux Return section over here, which is completely far away from your Aux Sends section for some reason. I guess this is just when they were mapping it out, they thought this would be the easiest place to put it, which is fair enough. So here you have Aux Returns 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they're left and right each. Or obviously if you just have it in left, then it, I don't know if you can read that, but it's mono if it's just in the left. So overall this is a really nice desk, which, well, obviously it's nothing pro, but for the price range I think it's probably as best as you are able to do. My only problem that I've had with it is I found off of subgroups 3 and 4 there's just a hell of a lot of white static noise. And this is still within warranty, so I could get it returned, but I mean that doesn't really bother me that much because I don't use subgroups. Well, I don't use those subgroups. I generally only use a pair of subgroups if I use any. And within not too long I'm going to upgrade to a bigger version because, well, effectively this one will fall to being just for band practices and stuff and running a small PA in here in my studio, and then the other one will be taking out for putting on gigs and stuff. Yeah, you may have noticed this has rack mounts on the side, which they're optional to put on or not. It does come with sort of rounded sides when you get it, and these are actually in the box with it, so you don't have to pay any extra for these, and it fits on the top of, well, it fits in a rack, like a 19-inch rack space. So just to sum up, this is a really nice mixer if you're just getting into either doing live sound or want to mix for, say, just your band or something like that. But when you're, well, I mean, it's gonna start limiting you pretty quickly in live sound when you start doing bigger stages, because as soon as you need anything over 10 mic inputs, although it may say that, well, obviously it does have 24 inputs, you can't, like, it's just not practical to use them all. Yeah, it will start to limit you once you get onto bigger things, but it is definitely a very good desk to look into if you're either running a small home studio and you want to be able to record a full drum kit without paying a lot of money for going down the Firewire interface route, or even the USB interface route that will do multi-track recording, whereas this only obviously does stereo. Yeah, it's very good for its price range, basically, and I'm very happy with my purchase. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a comment if you have any questions or anything like that, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.